What's up, Extra Butter listeners? On today's episode, we dive into a new series, episode 1 of Summer Movies, the Summertime Classics, the best summer movies of all time based on different sources throughout the internet that we found. We compiled a new wheel with 30 movies, and it landed on The Goonies, a classic 1985 family adventure that if you haven't seen it, pause the pod now, get your ass in a seat, and put the movie on Max, whatever streaming service you got to find it. Go watch The Goonies, kicking it off with one that everybody should know. And if you don't know it, like I said, go watch it now. We also give a Final Destination Bloodlines preview as I use my A-list membership for the first time to go see the new Final Destination movie. It's been years since they've come out with a new one. We've got some gears to grind, and we made a call, a little tap on the right arm to the bullpen tonight. We'll tell you a little bit about that as well. Guys, make sure to go find us on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music for every episode to listen to or watch, depending on if you guys like watching us chat it up on video. Make sure to drop us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, and X, the Everything app. Everything happens on X. Guys, please enjoy the episode. We're excited about it. We got some real big hitters on the wheel. The Goonies won't miss. We're excited to tell you a little bit more about it. Critter, roll the tape.
Extra, extra butter on the corn for me. Extra, extra butter. I hope they don't charge a fee. But it won't matter anyway. I got a good movie to play. I'm gonna ask my friends to stay extra butter for me.
This is episode 9, and ladies and gentlemen, we had to make a call to the bullpen. Our boy Big Trav could not be with us today. Maybe not here next week either. We don't know yet, but we're troubleshooting that as he's on the road. But, you know, sometimes when you're down in the AAA minor league ball club, you get a call. You get called up to the bigs. Maybe you're out in the bullpen sitting on the bench getting the arm ready to roll. But we've got a guy that sits behind the scenes that's ready for his big moments. And Critter, welcome to somewhat of a main role in the podcast today. We'll pass it over to you. Welcome to the big show.
Happy to be here, boys. It was a good moment when I got that clip out there for episode 8.
Ooh, so good.
Oh, it felt good. I shared it with damn near everybody I could, and they all got a good kick out of it. So, and
it's good old classic.
The sad thing was that Nick Young clip was probably my saddest day as a Laker fan. I think Kobe might have still been around, but yeah, no, I'm just happy to help you guys out. And yeah, for the most part, I'm going to let you guys do all the talking, but I'm happy to throw my 2 cents in there and maybe a little gear to grind. And
I don't even remember that like live. The Nick Young clip is Swaggy P, as most people might know. I don't remember that game at all, but that clip, that meme is viral. Like it's used forever. It's cemented into meme culture. But yeah, I don't remember that game. Was it a playoff game?
Oh no, they were like 10 and fucking 70, I think, that year, but maybe not that bad. But yeah, I think I asked you guys because I was busy all week to like give me some clips, and he goes, I made some marks on the last pod, and I went to like his second mark, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gold. And you guys mentioned basketball, and like my mind instantly went to that meme. So
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
Everyone's reactions is just altogether great.
It's well, and also like engagement on socials has been huge. Like I think the more that we're running these clips that you're putting together have been awesome because we're getting reactions to stories now. So it's like it's working. So
I don't know if we would have ever switched over to video without you, Crit. Having you behind the scenes producing stuff has been just absolutely massive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a big help, and now you get a chance to step up to the plate and swing. But I know that we always talk about gears to grind, and I think that you're the one that had the one to talk about today. So, would love to dive into it.
Yeah, no, I think it was like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. Lindsay was having a severe craving for some barbecue.
As you would.
I mean, you don't need to tell me twice. I can't have my Traeger at my apartment, so my Smoking sessions have been completely cut in half, if not entirely. But we went there. We placed an order. The menu, first of all, the menu shows you all these things, but it doesn't like explain everything. So I went in there and I was looking in the bag after I did the takeout order. Okay, I got this, like based on like the boxes that were in the bag. And I was like, I got this. Okay, it all checks out. We get back and we're missing something. I was like, gosh, it was right up the street. So I went right back up there. They hooked me up, but then it just got me down to this track and I was like, takeout or DoorDash, I always have a problem with it. That's part of the reason why I cook so much, is just like I'm tired of dealing with takeout, DoorDash. Like I did it a little bit when I was living with Mom when I first moved out here, but I mean, there was, not to throw any names under the bus, but I'm going to throw a name under the bus, Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
I've had 3 different times where they have completely forgotten a sandwich. And I call them, and they're like, "Oh, it's DoorDash's fault." I call DoorDash, and like every time it's this Jersey Mike's fault. And I was like, "Someone's." I mean, DoorDash would refund me, but it's just like, then Lindsay and I are splitting like a 3-inch set. Like,
yeah,
just takeout sucks, and just nut up or shut up. Just cook your damn meals. I get it, but I just hate takeout and DoorDash.
I feel that though, because every time you do it, it's either they're missing a drink, there's an order wrong. I feel like sauces are on the list for most forgotten about item, even if you pay for it. Always forgetting it. And it's like, I should have just drove and got it if I needed it. That way I make sure I get it. Or to your point, Crit, just cook. Just cook. Mm-hmm. It's a good skill to have. Like, no one's ever made fun of someone for being able to cook their own food, you know?
Right. Well, I'm a notorious Taco Bell late night weekend orderer on DoorDash, and you have to individually click the sauce packets. So if you only do if you do like 5 or 10, you're getting 1, maybe 0. So a couple years back, I started plugging in at least 69 every time. Funny number, will never not be funny to a guy. Very funny. So every time I would specifically make sure it got to at least 69 or higher. And then you would at least get 10 of them, or like a handful. Because like when you go into Taco Bell, they've got the jars of sauces and you got to grab a handful, throw in your bag, whatever. So if you plug in a number that's over 50, it's like you can't, if they forget it at that point, then it just goes to show that the system's broken or that guy didn't care. Nowadays, though, after COVID, they seal the bag, so you can't even put it on the dasher. It's everybody inside. But yeah, I've had my fair share. But to that point, I now have a drawer in my kitchen that would be a typical silverware drawer, and it is just full of fire sauce packets.
I know that drawer.
Sauce. Oh yeah,
yes, yeah. Good job.
Always have fire sauce.
Didn't you actually have someone give you like 50 packets one time?
One person ever, I think I was living in Wisconsin at the time.
Yeah.
It gave me exactly 69 sauce packets.
It just took the bucket and just dumped it in your bag.
Well, I had ordered like, the cravings box or whatever. Like it wasn't one of those crazy nights where you ordered 18 items and you're just crushing it. You end up throwing half of it away because you just, in the moment, you think you need more food than you do.
Oh.
So I only ordered the Lux cravings box or whatever it was. And it came with the box and a bag on top. And I was like, thinking to myself, did I order something more? And I opened it and it was just all sauce packets. So I was like, I poured them out, counted them, exactly 69. We tipped that guy very handsomely for that because that's attention to detail, which we talk about a lot within movies, but you usually never get the amount, if any, of the sauces that you order from any DoorDash. So fire sauce is my staple. I put it on a lot of things. Now I will say fire sauce is one of the most elite sauces out there, probably up there with me with buffalo sauce from McDonald's. But it really doesn't hit the same unless it's on Taco Bell food. Like I've tried it on eggs. I've tried it on. I'll put it in if we do like Mexican bowls or something at home. I'll put it in there. It adds a little flavor. But when it's on like your cheesy gordita crunch, it's way more noticeable than it is on any other food item that you cook at home, which probably says something about what you're eating. But we are never at a shortage for fire sauce in this household. But I had another story that relates to movies kind of from the same topic, which is kind of funny. So my wife and I, this is probably year 2 of our relationship, been together for 10 years. I don't know, a little over 10. And we're going to a movie back in Illinois out by, you both know Willow Knolls. And Willow Knolls, right across the street, I think there's an Arby's on that main highway there.
Been there many a times.
Oh, yeah. So we're going, and like I said, I was living in Minnesota probably at the time, and I'm home for, I don't know, summer vacation or whatever. I'm in college. So, like, we've been dating or talking, whatever, for however long, but, like, the time together, you know, hasn't been as obviously frequent as it is now. And I'm a previews guy, like, through and through. If I go to a movie, I want to get there early. I'm not trying to get there for tip-off, right? And we're going out there, and she's just gotten off work. I'm driving. She's like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm like, let's just get some nachos, some popcorn. We'll just, get something at the theater. And she's like, no, like I need some food. So we pull into this Arby's, and I'm already kind of fired up. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at the clock on my dash, and I'm like, you know what? I think we can get through here. There's nobody in the drive-thru. In and out. It's literally a 4-way stoplight across the street from, you go straight over to the movie theater. We go to the Arby's drive-thru. She orders a chicken sandwich and fries, whatever, combo meal. We're pulling out, and we get to the stoplight, and it's red. I'm just eager to get across the street, and she's unwrapping her food and getting ready to eat it before we get in there. And she opens up the sandwich, the chicken sandwich, right? Deluxe chicken sandwich. Lettuce, tomato, mayo, whatever, and you've got the chicken. She opens it up, and she just goes, there's no chicken on my sandwich. And I'm like, what? Like, it's a chicken sandwich. She's like, yeah, it's just lettuce and tomato and mayo. It's just buns. And I'm like, there's no way they forgot the main fucking ingredient of a chicken sandwich on the chicken sandwich. And I look over, and sure shit, no chicken on there. So I have this inner dialogue to myself of how big of an asshole am I? Do I just say, fuck it, and we just go across the
You're
street?
eating bread.
Yeah, eat it. Eat the fries. We'll get you some jalapenos and nacho cheese with your chips in the movie theater that I want to see the previews for. And I couldn't do it. I turned around and go through the drive-thru. Hey, man, there was no chicken on the chicken sandwich. And he just and just takes it back, goes back in, gets us a sandwich. We get out of there. To this day, I don't know if he turned around and got pissed at another person in there, if he was by himself and was just mad at himself. But never in my life have I ordered a sandwich or any sort of food item where the main ingredient was not on the plate or in the bag, but the chicken was gone.
Based off that guy's reaction, either it's him doing it or someone else doing it, but it certainly is not the first time that night that has happened.
It certainly didn't seem like it. It was like, I don't know. Everybody has an off day. We've said that before. It could have just been him and he's having a bad day, but I just don't know how you can put together a sandwich and never put it's like making a BLT with no B. Like,
there's so many there's so many flags and stages to that whole process for you to just be. You had to have just been, fuck these guys.
They're not.
That's the only way. That's the only way.
And I'll be honest, as a guy, Chelsea's the type of person that, like, you get your food and just picks through, looks at it. I would have opened that thing up, taken a bite before I realized there's no chicken in it.
I never look.
I never look. No. No, if I was drunk and I ordered that Taco Bell order and I just started to bite into a taco and there was no meat,
taco lettuce,
I probably wouldn't know until I was halfway done with it. I don't know. It's never happened, but I would like to think that I would notice before I took a bite. So.
I've had it where another Arby's story. Funny how that's getting brought up right now, but
Arby's on the hot seat.
Jersey Mike's is on the hot seat. I got another one too.
Arby's is kind of my fault. Definitely more my fault than Arby's. So get my combo meal, drive up, pay for it, waiting. He goes, hey, here's your food. Have a good day. I just take off. Forgot the drink. They
Can't
typically
forget the
hand
Dr. Kelp.
they typically hand it to you before the food comes out.
The first
Didn't get it.
first thing.
Whole schedule messed up through the process. I get halfway home. I'm like, my fucking Dr. Pepper, dude. I can't eat Arby's without my Dr. Kelp.
Yeah, no.
So pretty much on me, but if that guy followed the correct order, the correct sequence, we would have had a problem.
There's procedures for a reason. Get the drink out first.
Yeah, no, Jersey Mike's, I forgot about this one. I got my hair cut last weekend, and I asked for a Chipotle cheesesteak, and he proceeded to do a Chipotle chicken cheesesteak. That's when I realized they follow the number system rather than just the actual name of the sandwich. And they started
kind of
making
weird there, isn't it?
Like, yeah, here you go, Chipotle chicken. I was like, no, you're not going to send me home with that, because Lindsay's not going to be happy because she asked for a Chipotle. She asked me a cheesesteak, not a chicken cheesesteak.
Yeah.
So that was 3 strikes.
Yeah, you got to stop going there, Crit.
Yeah, I actually
So good, but yeah.
I think I've only had it once, and I'm just not like sandwich shops. We live in Colorado. We got plenty of them.
There's so many.
We got a Chiba Hut right next door, which I
Chiba
probably
Hut.
should just do.
I've had
start doing
Chiba
that.
in a while, but yeah, dude, there's sandwich spots every block and a half.
Never had a Snarf's, and I need to start.
Snarf's is kind of like Potbelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely different than Potbelly, but
I like Snarf's.
Yeah, Snarf's is good. They got a secret menu too, although it's not really secret because they laminate it and they put it on the front counter. But just put it on the menu, guys.
Yeah.
And another thing, Crit, is that Jersey Mike's just got bought by private equity. You know, the killer of business. So started expecting that quality to go to shit.
Going to Subway. They're going to be Subway soon.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. They milk it until it's dry, and then the sandwich that you used to love, gone forever.
I hate to just get another story going, but we brought up Subway, and I love
what a gear!
Subway.
What a gear!
Subway.
Might know where this is going. Go ahead.
But Subway is one of those places that is now fallen in the category of like when you're on a road trip, it falls into the McDonald's, Arby's, Hardee's fast food chain because it's on the side of it's near the gas stations are attached to. So we're driving back out the last time, and we stop at a Subway. Chelsea needs Subway, and I knew like I go in there. It's in the middle of the interstate. You know, we're pulling off. There's going to be one person working, guaranteed. Walk in, line's kind of long. Chelsea needs it. I'm like, whatever. I'm standing in line. Subway. I'm a Subway guy, so whatever. I'll stand in line, prolong the trip. We're on our way back. It is what it is. And I ordered first off, my normal order is a Subway melt, which used to be on the menu. Then they took it off, but you can still order it. Now this lady didn't know what it was. Whatever, that's fine. Chelsea's ordering a specialty item. Hard to mess up when you're promoting this specific item. So I ordered and then the special that day was a cold cut combo, which I think is like bologna and shit. So I ordered the specialty sandwich, and then I ordered I was like, you know what? Let's just do like ham and bacon. That's fine because the Subway melt was like ham, turkey, and bacon. I'm not gonna make your life harder. Ham and bacon's pretty typical sandwich, 2 items, whatever. So she starts making, and I'm like the type of guy. I notice everything, so I know she's not making a turkey or ham and bacon, and I know she's not making Chelsea sandwich, so she's just making whatever. And I'm like, what? I'll eat it. That's fine. I don't want to be here any longer than I already have been. She's making it, and then she starts to make the ham and bacon afterwards. I'm like, no. Like she she wasn't even in there. I'm like, nope. The other one was a whatever fajita, whatever the fuck it was. And she's okay, confused. All her brain is just now in
scrambled.
And I'm like, whatever, I'll eat whatever you just made. This one needs to be right because this is the only reason why we're in here. Middle of the making the sandwich, she stops. She's like, if I mess that one up, I'm making you a new sandwich. And there's like 8 people behind me. And I'm like, no, I'll eat whatever that is. I just need you to make this one correctly, please. And she's like, no, seriously. I'm like, no, seriously. Like, I will eat that. I'm like, what was that? And she's like, that's a cold cut. I'm like, sure. That one's now mine. I will eat it. I'm like, she's like, toasted. Yep. Every time I asked for another item, I felt bad for the person behind me because I knew I was in the same line that they're in. They know it's not going any quicker. I'm not going to make your life harder by repeating the sandwich that's going to take you another half an hour. Let's just get this thing through. So Subway, their quality has fallen. I know they lost a lawsuit overseas for their bread being like
not bread.
It's like donuts, too much sugar.
Yeah,
I
legally
love
not bread.
Yeah,
Insane.
crazy to make it to a Supreme Court for that argument, but I'll still eat it every day of the week. But if you find one that happens to be connected to a gas station and you're on a road trip, just don't expect it to be quality. That's all. I ate the sandwich; it was fine.
I haven't been to a Subway in years.
That was my first experience.
Half decade. I haven't been to a Subway.
Well, my first experience in about a half decade wasn't great, but the sandwich still hit.
My childhood ruined that. I went there all the time growing up.
Yeah, it was right across from school. The spot.
Subway,
right practices.
Subway's lit. I don't care. I'll eat it all the time. Make my sandwich wrong. As long as I load it up with enough toppings, I don't care.
It's not even $5 footlongs. What happened?
You can't have $5 footlongs anymore. They have one a week. I think they have one per day, like a specific type, like a specific style is $5.
Beef and cheddar 2 for $4 at Arby's went away too. Sad days.
Wendy's used to have like a 4 for $4. That's probably gone.
McDonald's has new chicken tenders. Taste like hearty chicken tenders. And back in the day, they had legit chicken selects.
Selects were good.
Then they got rid of the selects and they made the snack wrap with the same chicken. So it was acceptable. And now we're just dog shit.
Sorry. I haven't had them. No, I haven't had them yet, but I thought they would be like selects. They're not.
No.
No.
If you know what Hardee's chicken tenders are like, it's like a soft breading. It's not like crispy. So yeah,
just like the chicken nugget breading.
Chicken nuggets are better.
Really?
Chicken nugget. No, it's a different breading. But it's more of like a soft breading than it is like a crispy breading.
I'd rather have grilled tenders.
Yeah,
it's like the same. Like there's nothing there.
Yeah,
I'll still try them.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah,
sauce is good.
I've heard that too. The new sauce is good.
Yeah.
Fast food. Wow.
Yeah. We got into it. Thank you. Critter coming with the haymaker, brother. He's like, I got something to grind your gears about.
It's just great when the gears to grind, like if no one's got one and someone's got we've got one to talk about, and it just gets the gears going. That's the whole point. And it did. But to transition out of that, I wanted to talk about the fact that I finally used, or I guess I shouldn't say finally, I just got it last week, but the A-list premiere member that I am now at AMC, reserved my first movie, had to jump into it. I actually have another one on the docket, which I will talk about, but went and saw Final Destination Bloodlines. Final Destination hasn't been out in like 14 years.
It's been a while.
I think it's like 2011. I looked it up and I think I'm right on that, but Final Destination Bloodlines, went and saw it. I am a horror guy, as we know. I'm a gory guy. Any type of horror, goosebumps, gore, killing, scares, jump scares, don't care. That's like my type of movie, thrillers, all of it. So I went and saw it last weekend. And Final Destination movies, I feel like, and I might be wrong on this at some point, there's probably a movie I'm forgetting about or the people that might be involved in it back in the day, but typically not an all-star cast. They had a guy. Yeah.
I was just going to say pretty, D-list celebrities, I would say, or non-mainstream. Like, you're not having Brad Pitt in those movies.
No, and the only guy I recognized was one of the guys from the TV show The 100. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that, but there was a cast member from The 100 who did a phenomenal job. But it's interesting to see, like, you're going to the movie theater and you're going to see a movie where it's not an A-list cast. Let me tell you this. They did a unique twist on the movies. All those movies start off with a premonition. This one didn't. The Bloodlines theme, as they marketed it as and named it after, was really interesting for all the other Final Destination movies that we've seen. And there's been god-awful death scenes in these movies in the past. Like, you can probably, if you've seen these movies and you're listening right now, you can think of at least one or two that you remember on the spot if somebody asked you about a Final Destination movie. This movie paid homage to those, and I'll tell you why. These kill scenes were brutal. I mean, I'm talking about absolutely brutal. Like the movie has its corniness to it. I think that's part of the plot. It's all very non-realistic to a certain extent, but like the ways they come up to kill these people that are supposed to be dead and they were saved by, dodge death and death's coming for you. These kill scenes were brutal, dude. It is not meant for the soft stomach. If you are into this type of movie, they paid homage tenfold. These were absolutely just diabolical kill scenes, and the suspense was always there. Like, you could tell when someone was about to die, but you didn't know who and you didn't know when. And there's always a list, and the list typically follows the order, and I think that this movie continued to do that. However, there's a lot of foreshadowing to how this is about to happen, and you're on the edge of your seat. You've already had a couple like, oh, God moments, and then it just gets you again because you see it all happening, and you're like waiting for it, and then something else will happen, and then they're gone. And you were just like, it's just like, I am not a guy to hide my face or shell back during those scenes. And this one it had me like, oh my goodness. Like, it's just like, there's a family of 4 in there with me. Like, just loving it. But I'm like, how do you, I mean, I would probably take my kids at a certain age. I don't care. Like, it's a movie, right?
Right.
Coach them up on it. But absolutely unbelievable tribute and remake of the old school Final Destination movies. And if you're into that type of movie, you got to go see it.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen Final Destination in I don't know how long. I did see one of the death scenes behind the scenes on how they did it. And from watching that, I've been so interested in like going to see this one. I haven't seen a bad review of it yet.
It did well on reviews. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but like, I think it was over 90% on critic scores, which for a movie like that, you would expect it not to be that high because it doesn't have the big names. It's you kind of know what you're getting into when you go watch one of those, and it scored well and it's done well. I had to see it. Unbelievable. Like, not the best movie of all time. But if you are a Final Destination person or you're into movies like that, and it is 1,000% worth your watch. I've watched it, or I would watch it plenty of times again. I came home. My wife is not a person that wants to watch those. I'm like, let me just show you the opening scene. Went and found it just to give you an idea of what you're getting into. 92% critic, 87% audience. Like, that is a very highly rated movie, and it delivers. And you're not getting Brad Pitt, like you said. You're not getting Bradley Cooper. You're not getting Sandra Bullock. Like, these are people you don't know. You're looking up the cast prior. What else have they been in? Maybe you recognize something, maybe you don't. But they delivered, and my God, are these scenes brutal.
I'm pumped to see it now.
It's sick. It is. I say that a lot, but woo! That one will blow your hair back, as Critter's brother would say. To go into the hopper, as I call it, I've been telling you guys the hopper because I can reserve up to 3 or 4 movies at a time. I think I talked about this last week, but I'm like beyond excited for it. On Monday, which you guys will be listening to this the following Friday after I see this movie, so I'll be talking about it the following week. The Unseen screening that AMC does every other Monday. Oh,
yeah.
So I'm locked in for Monday, 7 o'clock, Unseen. It's rated R. I am so excited. I hope it's a horror film. I hope it's something. I don't know. Rated R could be
watch it be Final Destination.
No, it's one that hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look. Rated R movies coming out.
It could be 28 years later, which I'm already on the hopper to see.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah, but I am so pumped. There's a Reddit page I think I talked about again, like I said, that tells you because the East Coast people will post it. I'm not looking. I'm going in blind, and I cannot wait to tell you guys about it next week.
Okay, so there's a Bride Hard action film scheduled for release on June 20th.
Saw that preview. It looks pretty good. It's like a female Hangover.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good.
That my money's on Bride Hard. I guarantee that's what it'll
It looks
be.
good. I would be fine with that. I'm not, even if it's a movie I haven't even seen the preview for or known. Like it's
Right? No,
it's an exciting like thing that they do. You know,
no, that's a good little deal. That's part of that.
it's cool. It's cool. And I'm gonna, as I mentioned, 28 years later, we've seen 20. I'm probably gonna rewatch 28 Days Later. I think there's a 28 Weeks Later, bringing back 28 years later. It's a zombie film. Gonna watch it.
You might get Beverly Hills Cop.
Don't care. Don't care. Anything. I'm in. But yeah, getting movies in the hopper. F1 movie. I think in a couple weeks we're gonna go see that.
Oh yeah.
So
is that out?
No, June 26th or 27th. I think 20. I don't know. Last weekend of June.
Yeah.
Looks great. Saw that preview again, but a lot of good previews. Getting this pass and then going to a movie and watching previews, you immediately like get home and you want to look and reserve the next ticket. Like it is.
Why not?
It costs you nothing. $25.99 a month for AMC.
You already went to your first movie. The next ones all month are all free.
Yeah, and I'm going and
that's a lot of movies.
I might have to do it because there's an AMC up here by me. So
for you guys listening, it'll be 4 days ago when I go see this, but I've already got my second one in the hopper, and I'll be talking about it. And there's already 28 years later is going to be going in unless I see it on Monday. But anyway, Final Destination Bloodlines. You gotta watch it. If you are into that type of movie, you have to see this movie. It is unbelievably gory. It's an awesome spin, and the death scenes, you can't beat them. So, gentlemen, we are into the summertime classics, the best summer movies ever, whatever that means, whether it's based in the summer, it was filmed in the summer, or anybody wanted to call it a summertime film. I think Die Hard would fall into Christmas movies and take that for what it's worth.
As it should.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a Christmas movie, but it is.
Yes,
right?
it is. No, it is.
So
during Christmas, I don't know what you want to.
Technically, Goonies is not during summer, but it's a summertime movie. So yeah,
summertime classics.
Now I can't talk shit about Die Hard.
Whether they're classics, whether they're modern films, whether they're the heavy hitters that we talk about and that you'll see on the wheel. If you watch the video and you're watching us on YouTube right now, or if you've watched the video on Spotify, you already saw the wheel. If you listen to us, we've got a wheel. And we've got some heavy hitters on there. We predict the movies. We spin it at the end. And we landed on the Goonies. An absolute legendary movie that I think we'd all seen before. But when you watch it again, it hits home. It's an awesome movie. It is loud. It is funny. It's got a good plot. There's action. It's all those things together. And I cannot wait to dive into it some more. Trav is not with us today. So, Alex, tell him about the movie.
I'll give it a shot here. So the Goonies takes place in Astoria, Oregon, where we have a group of friends that are, we'll say, underprivileged, poor, if you will, and a real estate investor by the name of Elgin Perkins is coming through and buying up all the Goondocks, essentially forcing everyone out of their homes, and they don't have the money to afford to not have him buy them out. The kids take a stand. They want to, enjoy this last day together before they all have to move, go to different schools, new homes. Who knows where they wind up? One of the main characters, Mikey Walsh, his father is a historian, museum expertise, and he was always interested in a pirate called One-Eyed Willie. Our group of friends, the Goonies, they find information. They find a map regarding One-Eyed Willie, and they decide they want to spend their last day finding buried treasure. They run into a few issues, though. They have a long way to travel, and they run into the Fratellis, a murderous family gang that is on the loose and chases them throughout the film. Brendan, what'd you think?
Spielberg, first and foremost, I didn't know that. I didn't know that going into it, that Steven Spielberg was the, I think, director of the movie. And we always talk about the openers, and when you think of 1985 films, you just expect the credits to run, and they did. But they also had the opening scene involved, which I don't know if I'm just an idiot and forgot or haven't seen enough movies, which that part probably isn't true. But we talk about introduction to character a lot, and
Yeah.
the opening scene of the police chase of the Fratellis, the Italian crime family that breaking out of county jail, getting the mom's getting the son out, brother, etc. And you're getting your introduction to all the Goonies throughout the chase. Like you're getting Mouth, you're getting Mikey, you're getting Chunk, you're getting Data. And it just flows so well that I thought my initial thoughts, and I wrote it down, I think multiple times, was that this movie felt like it was far ahead of its time. And it's probably why it stood the test of time, which I love to reference as the standing the test of time. But I thought it was ahead of its time because that scene, you don't get that. I mean, we just watched the Mohawk last week, 2018, and you get your credits. There's not much of an opening scene, and they're running a police chase while you're getting introduced to the main characters of the movie. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, and you said character introduction. What better way to introduce a large character cast than in the introduction by you see what type of hobbies they have, who they deal with, backgrounds to these characters. Data's making an invention. Mouth's dad is a plumber. Chunk, Eaton, smashes his stuff against the window, drops everything, his ticks and everything. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. The introduction, you know who the antagonists are. You know why. Breaking out of prison, getting shot. And then you go through each main character without having to waste time, in the intro of the movie to explain who these people are. You know who they are, and then it shows us how they're related.
Well, and it's running the credits the whole time. It's like it takes the brief pause of the credits and the introduction to the cast to showcase the characters. And
just great music, too, by the way.
The music was awesome. And this is where I get to my 3 boxes, which I think I've learned that I have to adjust because there's like the way that I word them of the music got you set stage, like that is not going to be the criteria for every genre of movie. Like there's not going to be a set stage or a gotcha moment every time. The music was lights out. I think they did in terms of a gotcha, or I wrote down an opener. I think an opener is a better word for it for a movie like this. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything more. And I thought, and this is something we'll probably talk about a lot throughout the pod, is like, these are still kids. I know the movies are kids, but like kid actors. And the way that they were able to do like personality differences between each one of them, I was thinking about asking the question at some point, and I'll probably ask it later on too, but like who did you most relate to? Who do you see yourself as the kid? Because at some point, I felt like all of them. Like they did such a good job of all the different personality traits and how they acted that at some point throughout the movie, you felt like you were like, okay, maybe I'm more like Mouth. You know what? I'm feeling like I might be a little chunker. Like there was all of them were lights out, and I don't know how you do that in 1985 with a movie because kid acting is not easy. I think there's a lot of movies that it's good, but for an old film, yeah, right, dude. They were lights out.
Yeah, completely agree. I think like having there's Chunk, Mouth, Data, Mikey, and then Brand. And I feel like with the 4 kids themselves, if you would like combine them, you get like an actual human being. So like not like none of them were overwhelming. None of them were bad because they only had to focus on, Mikey's this, the adventurer. He's kind of, quiet. No one really listens to him, things like that. Chunk, accidental, breaking everything. Mouth, smartass. Data, the nerd, right? And having them all there to play off each other, I think is just why it worked out. And then you have Brand, the older brother, and Josh Brolin. He could get it back then. He can get it today. That dude, my lord.
I got to imagine he might have been a little too young to get it back then, but
no, he would have been older. He would have been older.
I will say the music, Stranger Things vibes in a way. Yeah. Another thing I can feel for Brand being the older brother dealing with.
I'm the baby, so
dealing with Brendan and Matt and my brother Matt. Oh, buddy, yeah, I could feel that. Feel for Bran there, but yeah, the music for sure. I was like, holy smokes, this is like Stranger Things. Like it just had that kind of tone to it.
And I couldn't relate to Bran from a older brother perspective because I am the baby as well, but I could relate to him a lot of times throughout the movie, in which we'll again dive into. But the fact that and I know you talked about it within the introduction of the movie, the fact that they all live close together was so cool. Like that opening scene once the intro was over and they all start showing up and Mouth walks in, Chunk shows up, Data zip lines over. But something, and I'm curious, this might be we might get sidetracked to your thought, but the amount of Rube Goldberg machines that were in this movie, like, do you guys know what that is?
No.
I don't know if it's Rube Goldberg or not, but it's essentially those contraptions, like when Chunk gets to the gate and they
open yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
That is like a Rube Goldberg machine. I'm probably botching that name, but they had so many of them, and then they played into booby traps later, and it was still kind of the same. Yeah, it was like kind of the same process. So I'm wondering if that's where Rube Goldberg got it from, was from old school booby traps.
I don't think I was ever interested in those types of contraptions until this movie. Like, did you see that as a kid and your immediate thought is just like, I want to go build something like that?
I don't know, but I watch America's Got Talent a lot, and there's been a couple people that have done it. There's been like Lego shows or domino shows where they do things like that, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, I am so fascinated by those, dude. There's a Family Guy episode where it goes through a whole Rube Goldberg machine, and then at the end of it, it just shoots Peter in the knee or something. Yeah. He's like, I paid for all that, and all it does is shoot you? Like, those things are it's like the amount of time and effort that goes into that for 30 seconds.
Trial and error forever until it works. And then
Mouth
it doesn't.
Mouth walked right into the house. And then you come out and poor Chunk's got to do the truffle shovel just to do the whole contraption just to open the door.
Yeah. The truffle shovel is absolutely iconic. And yeah, you can't, not even, like you said, it's not even to just get him in. Then they roll the Rube Goldberg machine out to open the door. So he's out there just, and then they trigger the bowling ball, and then it takes 5 minutes to open the gate that they could have opened. And they walked out the fucking front door.
Now, I do want to tell the audience, last week we talked about Trav maybe giving us a little truffle shuffle. Might be the reason he didn't show up.
Didn't want to do it.
Didn't want to do it. So
Chunk did it.
Yeah, just want to say
Chunk.
Just the possibility of it. Want to throw it out there.
I can edit it in if you want to, Trav, if you're listening.
Yeah. Edit. Truffle Shuffle. What a legendary. I mean, another thing that just stands true. Like,
and it's such a friend thing to do. Like,
oh yeah.
If random people were asking Chunk to do that, you'd be like, no, step off. But because he's your homie, brother, come on, let's see it.
Yeah.
And the guy, he's just like, man.
Yeah. He knows what it is. He knows what time it is. Boogie down, gets in, and then Data's entrance was awesome.
Iconic.
Lives across the street. Zip lines over. He's Mr. Gadget. I called him that plenty of times throughout the movie. Whoa, screen door. Screen door just comes barreling through that thing. And then the Goonies are together. And another thing about this opening inside the house scene, besides Chunk being a klutz, I got to talk about Bran's exercise.
Okay.
The extension. Like, that dude must have just an iron back, because I've never seen that. I know that there's a TRX where you can do some flies or reverse flies, but I mean, that's all he was doing. That get some push-ups in, Brand. Like, all we're doing is chiseling up the backside here, man. Like,
it's Josh Brolin, dude. Josh Brolin does have a chiseled back. I'll tell you that. It's easy.
I'd be shocked if he didn't have it 40 years ago, because he was ripping that thing through and through.
A young Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I mean, I put it down is all I thought. And Rosalita was an interesting character, because that's when Mouth got rolling.
Poor Rosalita, man. Like,
dude,
you can't speak English. You're going into some random person's house. She found you on the side of the street. I have no idea. Where did they meet? Did she mention that? She just said she's helping me move boxes. And you got some kid here telling you you're going to be locked up. There's drugs. And they're all sorted in the drawers. And then it's like, and you still just stick around. Like, that just must be so shocking.
The way he talked to her, like, yeah, sticking around, like, I mean, you're going to be trapped in here and all this stuff. And then mom is just good. Like, Rosalita, got it? Good? I'm out. It's like she has no clue what mouth is telling her. And she's like scarred from this kid telling her she's never getting out of this place. And she comes up, you know, I think she was a relatively important character, but like in that introduction, it's like, Rosalita better be hitting the road.
Oh, yeah.
This is not the house you want to. This place is cursed.
Well, the fact she stuck around must mean, you know, not my first time.
And how are they paying? They might be paying her well, which is shocking because they're foreclosure on their house.
That's a good point. I mean, if you can't speak English, though, you're probably not being, you know, too picky about what you're getting paid.
Hey, you know, money's money. So
yeah, everyone needs a job.
But we get the kind of iconic. Now this is where the stage kind of gets set, is when they hit the attic.
Yeah,
and everybody gets up in the attic, and Mikey finds the treasure map, and the first thought is, hey, this thing's kind of fogged up, dusted up, glass in front of it. Chunk, can you hold this for a second? Shatters it, and then you go. We forgot just to kind of preface that by the statue of David, I think is what it is, and just dropping it and breaks the dick off, and they put it back upside down.
Every scene Chunk is in, he is breaking shit. Every time.
The one critique I think I have of this movie is that it was loud. Like, there's always noise. I mean, it was just loud. Always talking, lot of sound effects. It's just loud the whole time. Like, and I had subtitles on, as always. And I don't usually read them unless I have to. My wife likes them, so we just keep them on the TV. And like, there's a lot of times in this movie, there's just so much shit going on that you have to look down because I can't hear what they're saying because everybody's talking.
Yeah.
Chunks falling over, breaking shit. I don't know what the hell is going on. So like, I'm glad I had subtitles on, but like, that was the one thing that kind of threw me off, is like, it's just so fucking loud the whole time that we could tone that back a little bit.
I want to add something, Geese, before we get to the attic. When Chunk says he catches the Michelangelo and then drops it.
Yeah,
they glue it upside down. I just wanted to throw that in. Like, it just hit my mind. I was like, no, I got to mention that.
Because we get a great line. That's my mom's favorite piece.
And then I think Mouth was like, well, if it wasn't, you wouldn't be here. And then I think Brand tells Chunk, if that's the way it was supposed to go, you'd be pissing in your face every day. One-liners through and through. I think I wrote down more quotes in this movie than any of them, so hopefully I don't forget to check on those when we get there. But shatters the map, and then they find the map. They find, I think it was... what was the guy's name that was the last treasure hunter that they had? I had it written
Chester Copplepot.
Chester Copperpot. What an unbelievable name.
Amazing.
Chester Copperpot is a perfect treasure hunting name. But they find all this shit, and then that's where you alluded to, is like, Mikey sees the vision of, we can save this house in our block if we find this buried treasure.
Yeah. Can we talk about just how harebrained idea that is? Like, you find the map, the guy went missing, you find this little key that you're using to locate, like, where to start from. And your first instinct is, guys, we got to go find this. Middle of the day, your parents are trying to move, and you're just like, I understand the sentiment of like, hey, this is our last time together, let's go do this. But with the information that they had in front of them, just to fully trust it, to go, fuck it, let's go.
Parents are gone, big brother's watching them. I don't know how old they are, Crit. I don't know if you can find that somewhere about how, like, the general age group of what these kids were. But I feel like, I mean, back when I was younger, you leave the house, take your bike, take it anywhere.
Yeah.
So they're losing their house the next day.
The one thing I do like is that once they started getting like more understanding of what they're looking at, Brand is fully bought in. Older brother's like, yo, like, this is cool. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna go, and mom told us to stay here, trying to, big brother, but the fact that like he's bought in to like the story and the history of it all is just like, it's the character that's supposed to be responsible, but is also like his interest is peaked, so like he's going along with it.
See, I'd argue that because they trapped Brand in the recliner with the iron back tool before they left. He didn't know about it, and
I know that, but when they're going over it in the attic, like he's like looking into it, he's all about it, and then we see it even further when they find the tunnel. We'll get to that scene, but they find the tunnel, and he's like, "Oh shit! Like, you're right. There is a tunnel down here."
Yeah, he got bought in, but I think he was also like being big brother.
Completely agree.
It's like, hey, these kids just trapped me. I got to get the hell out of here. I got to go find them, get your brother home. Mom and Rosalita get home from the store. He's on the fucking ground, pinned to a recliner. They're not helping him. And then Mouth unplugs his tires that he just bought.
Oh,
and he just picks up the little girl off the tricycle and just takes off. Like, he was dedicated to the craft.
Oh, you're pissed. You're pissed at that point. Go into it like, what's something Matt did to you? You just lost your shit.
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, between him and Brendan, they were just menaces, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I would do some stuff too, but there was just like some stuff that they would do, and I'm sure Brendan's brother too. Like, we just instantly are like, oh God, what's mom and dad gonna think when I just let them do God knows what? Who are they gonna be mad at? Him or me, who's right there next to him? Me. That's. Yeah. I mean, that's just part of being a big brother. I mean, your parents are gonna expect you as a big brother.
And you're a couple years older than us, right?
Yep, 3.
So it's like,
give or take, yeah.
Okay, so like, because Brad, in Brendan's case, is just a year older.
Yeah.
So it's more like you're not in the same friend group, but you're definitely interacting more on a daily basis than like you being 2 to 3 years older than us, where like you actually have responsibility at that point.
But the lecture that you both got, like, Brad's lecture and my lecture were totally different.
Yeah.
Like, how would you let this happen is what is going to Crit and Brad, and then mine is like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah.
Like, there's 2 different methods there of like being the older brother. So like in Brand's position, they're gone. Mom is gonna just berate Mikey and the kids later, but right now, and Brand's lecture is gonna be totally different. Like, you're the older guy. How the hell did you let this happen? So like the berating that's going to be coming down on you is just totally different messages. But Brand is committed to the art of like, I'm going to get him home, and he steals the tricycle of a little girl. I think it's Data's little sister, and takes off. And this brings me to a point.
I want my bike.
Yeah, this little this pink tricycle, and just starts cooking. And it brings me to one of those like 1985 unrealistic features of the movies when Troy and Andy and the other girl that I can't remember her name, they pull up on him in the car, and Troy grabs Brand's arm and they start going. They hit like 45 and Brand's still pedaling. You're not pedaling a bike at 45 miles an hour.
Especially on a tricycle like that.
Probably ran over.
No chance.
No. Like, you're not even to stay upright. I mean, his legs would be dragging on the ground at that point.
Yeah.
He gets sent off into the woods and is completely fine. It's a movie, I get it, but 45, like, can we dial that down a
Bro,
little
he took
bit?
that turn at 45 too. Like,
Yeah.
And they're both going off that thing.
Yeah, and he just gets sent. He's got a little scratch on his face. He's got the hots for Andy. Andy's got the hots for him.
Oh, Andy's got the hots for Brand. I'll tell you what.
Troy thinks he's got the in. He doesn't. It's all about Brand, and we find that out. But Brand just gets sent off to the moon off a tricycle going 45 down a significant drop-off and gets just a scratch on the face.
Boom.
And just gets up pissed off at the world, ready to find Mikey.
How did he find Mikey?
You know.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking about it. No fucking chance are you going to be able to figure out where that kid
Not
went?
in 1985. Hell no. Maybe now.
No.
But not.
Well,
Yeah.
It's tough too because it cuts to the kids getting into the restaurant that Chunk's like, this is a summer restaurant. Why is it open in the winter? And then they run into the Fratellis, and all I could think about with the mom of the Italian family who, you know, I leave it at that. Just reminded me of Billy Madison's Extra Sloppy. The lunch lady from Billy Madison is like the way she talked, everything about her. She's grabbing mouth by the face and like, you guys like tongue? Pulls a switchblade on him. Like, these are children. Like, it's like shocking how aggressive they were with kids. Now, granted, they're murderers, they're felons, whatever. But like, at that point in the movie, when they entered the restaurant and they've got dead bodies in there and whatnot, like, these kids are not a threat to you whatsoever.
Well, yeah, I would disagree because they're gonna tell somebody. So how do you handle that?
Yet.
No, they didn't. That's fair, but when I was watching it, like, if I was the Fratellis, that's my concern. They just found an abandoned restaurant. There's 3 people in here. Chunk just so happened, they don't know this, but Chunk just so happened to see their car with the bullet holes in it. Like, you're found out at that point when the kids show up.
Yeah, no, that was a funny point when we were watching last night. Lindsay's like, "Oh, this kid's the smart," like talking about Chunk. She's like, "He's the smartest one." He's like, "Don't go in there, guys." Like,
I wrote down good instincts.
We chased, like, the cops were chasing him. Like, we're not going in there. No. And then immediately after she said that, he went straight over to like the Pepsi cooler and goes, "Ooh, soda." And there was nothing in there. Could have been a dead body in there. Yeah.
I think that.
Oh shit!
100 years. They did cuss a lot for being kids. I think you just showed us they were about 13, Crit.
I would, yeah. I mean, that's what Google said. I would say that's probably kind of where they were at, just outside of high school.
Yeah, but it goes back. I gotta talk about a quote here because I talked about not missing them, and this is where it goes to my thought earlier of this movie being ahead of its time. Do you guys know? And I don't know. We're all older now, but like, you know, modern lingo is a little bit different for some things that people say now that I just don't get, like slang. And one that to me within the last few years has come up is like OD, like you're ODing.
Yeah,
like
who said that to me the other day?
It's like overreacting.
I heard that term. Yeah,
it's like yeah, you're going off the deep end, like you're ODing. And Mouth says to Chunk in this movie in 1985, "I'm so over." He says, I'm over OD on all your bullshit stories. Like, you're just ODing on these fucking stories, and like they're all bullshit. Like, everything that comes out of Chunk's mouth is bullshit. Is basically what he's saying. And like, it hit me because I'm like, I didn't start.
I missed what he said. I know that he directed. I thought he was like, "I'm just over your stories." I missed that OD part.
Yeah, it was when he was telling about the RV with the bullet holes in it, and they're like these, you know, sizes of, you know, whatever. And he's like, you're ODing on your bullshit stories. Like, I'm done listening to you. And he wasn't fucking lying there, but it's like the boy who cried wolf. Like, dude, you talked about carpet bombers on these sandwich shops in town. Like, that Michael Jackson took a shit in your house, or whatever he said early in the movie. None of that stuff was real. Did. Yeah, no, but his sister did. It's like another one, not to get back to Adam Sandler, but it's like Chris Farley and Billy Madison. He's like, that Veronica Vaughn. Her and a guy I knew, him and her got it on. It's like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. But that's like Chunk. Chunk the whole time is just telling these stories, and then finally he's like, guys, we are in trouble here. And he's like, I am so sick of your OD on your bullshit stories. And then he was not lying anymore, and they were in trouble. And they're trapped in this restaurant, and they've really got nowhere to go because these are murderous people.
Yeah, and then the mom, I can't remember her name. No, it's Lotney. It's just Mama Fratelli, I think. She
Ma.
Yeah, Ma. She brings them water. I fucking would not be touching that shit. Is it wet?
looked like straight bourbon whiskey in those cups.
Oh man.
There.
Just now, like from a kid perspective though, like you're walking into this place, cobwebs, mouth gets manhandled, and then you just get this motor oil for water. I'd be shit my pants.
They didn't drink it, to be fair.
No, but now you're trying to get out of there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If that coming out to me, it's like I need to leave.
Did you guys think? Because the same point is when one of the Fratelli brothers goes down and you get introduced to Sloth from the back.
Yep.
Did you guys? And I know I've seen this movie before. I know we all have, but like I was watching it. Did you guys think that he was like? Because this whole treasure thing is kind of like make believe until it's not. In that moment when Sloth was getting introduced, like I kind of thought he was One-Eyed Willie. Like I thought they were going to think he was One-Eyed Willie. Now I know he's not one-eyed, but like in my brain before we saw his face and stuff, I'm like, oh, like Sloth is One-Eyed Willie in the story. It's going to continue to fall into the plot. Like, did that ever cross your mind or absolutely not?
No.
I'm not going to join you on that one, Geese. Nice try though. After that clip, no. Honestly, like I don't know why I thought like I just kind of like because his eyes are so fucked up. Like I kind of like thought he did have one eye. Like
yeah,
I don't know. It's maybe Mandela effect or whatever you want to call it. But I wouldn't say I would go down that road. But I was like, oh, he did have two eyes. There's just one was at his cheek and one was at his forehead.
I thought that's where my brain was at. Was like because they didn't show you his face for a while. I was like remembering him as like only having one eye. So I'm like, okay, I think this might be the One-Eye Willie, and obviously it wasn't true. But that's how I thought it too, and I didn't really think about the Mandela effect. But that's my brain was predicting the fact that he only had one eye, which again didn't happen. But I did want to talk about Brand a little bit more because this is where I finally got relations to him. Was like Brand being the older brother here. Now Andy and the other girl are involved. They leave Troy. They meet up there. The girls are here. The Fratellis leave. Brand finds them, and they got to go back in for the treasure. They got to do this. They got to do that. And like Brand is just in a tough spot because he is just trying to get laid. Like Brand is like, do I be brave and go in here? And Andy wants to go. She's leaving. I got to save my brother. I leave with the girl. He goes in. They get scared by the dead fish on the rake. They run in. And then he's just in a tough spot from there on. Because all he wants to do is get with Andy.
Yeah, the moment that they ran into the restaurant, because Brand's going in there, guys, let's get the F out of A. And Andy and Steph roll in, and you are 100% stuck.
Yep.
And because of both reasons, right? It's like, you can't leave. They just ran in here, and she's all over me. Like, I'm probably going to take the opportunity to feel this one out. Which leads us to them, going down into the basement and, for a lack of a better term, fucking shit up. Just absolutely going in there, causing havoc. Data starts operating the printing machine, right? And it gives us a little detail for how long the Fratellis have been there. And the fact that they're, money laundering. They think it can save the houses. Like that must just suck. Like everyone thinks that you're going to be gone the next day. And then Data's just over here yelling $50 bills.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh shit. And it's just fucking paper, worthless.
They have no idea.
No,
they've got no idea. But then they find the dead body. And all I'm thinking about is like, because in my opinion, when I was watching this, like I know we just Googled the 13, they're probably 13 years old or whatever. Like I'm thinking they're like 10, 11.
Yeah. I would probably be more in that range, 10, 11.
Yeah. And they find a dead body and I'm like, I would be shitting my pants, dude. And they're just holding it up and putting it back in the closet and whatever. And they lock
touching it would freak me would freak me out. But dude, that is my bread and butter. I'm not gonna lie, that's in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, true. Well, Chunk gets stuck in there, and another quote's like, "I'm stuck with the stiff." I'm stuck with this stiff. And they're just dropping down the fire hole because Mikey's, which is kind of interesting. Another point is like Mikey's kind of the softy of the group of like has the plan. He's got the best mindset of like, let's stay out of trouble. But he's the one that keeps pushing pushing his cards up. Like, no, we got to keep going. Like Chunk and Mouth and, Data's just a vibe. And Mikey's kind of the hesitant, smart kid that's let's stay out of trouble. And Mikey's the one that keeps pushing them forward. And they find that, Chunk knocks that water jug over, shatters, water starts falling down the drain. They're looking to get under. Mikey knows the map. Chunk's locked in the closet now. They find the fireplace, move it, pull the grate up, and they're going down. Right? And Chunk is still stuck behind with the stiff.
Mikey's introduction was always that kind of reserved person, but like you understand that he understands this is the last time they're going to see each other. And he continually has the monologues and repeats that throughout the entire film, that he's kind of the glue, if you think about it. He's the one that's just like, guys, we can do this. And at every turn, he is the one that kind of figures it out. Right? Like, One Eye Willie's talking to this kid, and by God, he's going to find him.
Well, and I also think there's a part of it that Mikey is also thinking about his family's home. Like, he understands more than these kids understand in terms of, like, the bigger picture of and I had a quote from earlier that's like, it's not home anymore after today. Like, that isn't home anymore. Like, we have to find this treasure or we're losing our home. And so I think that was another factor, like an intrinsic factor within him is like, there's no other option right now because if we leave and we don't look for it, like home is gone. We're never going to see each other again, to your point of like, this is the last night we got.
You know the outcome tomorrow if you leave, right?
Yeah.
We don't know where this is going to lead us, so we might as well figure it out.
Right.
But we know what's home. Like, we know what's going on if we go back. And we won't see each other again. Our lives are going to be completely changed. Like, live in the moment.
Well, and I think he's also the one that when they get down and they realize Chunk's not there and the Fratellis get back to tell Chunk, like, go get the cops. Like, him and Mouth are like, go get the police. Chunk climbs out the window. In that same thing that's going on is like the Ma Fratelli, Ma. She smacks the shit out of one of the brothers twice and just absolutely wails on him.
Yeah, I think that's Lotney.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, Lotney is Sloth.
They never call the mom by a name besides Mom. So
Robert Davey as Joe. No, what happened here? What happened to Robert Daly? I was just looking at
that was Jake. That was the one that was in prison.
Yeah, Jake Fratelli. He's the one who keeps getting beat up by his mom.
Just getting smacked. Yeah, and Chunk gets out, finally gets to the woods, gets to the road, waves the car down, and bang, it's the Fratellis, and he's back with the stiff in the trunk.
That's just such a
kid.
Yeah, but just such a perfect scene where the car is facing forward, the camera is facing Chunk, who's facing the window. So you're looking with the view of the car, and then the light turns on, and you see it through the rear view mirror, and it's Jake Fratelli, and he just starts singing his Italian. Like, dude, just a classic scene, and I love how they frame that whole interaction there.
And Chunk starts speaking Hebrew.
Yeah. Well, and then Chunk, of course, fucks it up by just telling everything.
Oh, dude, I wrote that down. Chunk folds so fast. He just folds so fast. And like now realizing that they're older based on Google, like, dude, Chunk, like you got to die on the sword, man. Like if there's a treasure down there.
Well, even before that, where it's just like you're explaining everything to this super random person. I could even ID them. I know what all they look like. And then it's just flashlight. You're like, God damn it, man.
Yeah, he folded there. They get him back. He's they're showing him the blender, the tomato going in. It's your thumb, it's your hand, your flesh. And they're under the fireplace. They're down underneath. Like, he's just folds so fast. And like, I can't blame him, but like, Chunk, come on, man. Like if his buddies see that, it's like, Chunk, dude.
Yeah, but if you got a blender, like your hand's going into a blender, like I'm singing.
He's been with dead bodies. They've killed people. There's bullet holes. Like he knows that
he's had it the worst out of everybody, man. Easy.
Oh, he's big trouble. Big trouble. But yeah, he just folds so fast, and then he starts spilling all his beans about second, third, fourth, fifth grade.
Tell us everything. Everything. Yeah. Everything. In kindergarten, Chuck just goes through every
grade,
his entire life. Which leads us back into, the Goonie group.
Yep.
And like, dude, can we just talk about air quality down in this thing? Like, I absolutely love the movie, so I'm not trying to, there's some things that I'm going to be a little critic on just to, keep it even within all the other podcasts we have. The farther down they go, but yet still beneath city pipes, you know what I mean? Like, the well at the end, like everything throughout this is like they're deep underground. They're in a remote area, but yet they're right below civilization. So just, if I'm being nitpicky, yeah, there it is.
I did love that part.
I thought it was
shower handles gone. Just
cameo guy in the shower with the eye patch. That was funny. I don't know why, but
yeah, just throw a little eye patch on him. Yeah.
And then I wrote down quite the bidet for that guy sitting on the shitter.
That's Troy. That was Troy.
That was Troy?
Yeah.
Just blows him to the ceiling, like just absolutely crazy. And he's just like, it's like quite the bidet there, buddy. Like, but yeah, no, I thought that scene was cool. I mean, yeah, I agree. It's kind of a crazy, like, yeah, they're just keep climbing underground, right? But like they're right underneath. Like it feels like, yeah, like you said, they're remote. But like I'm also thinking back to your point of
like this guy's got boulders hanging from the ceiling, and then the next scene they got underground piping that's connected to everything. Like someone's maintaining those pipes. Like this ain't as secret as they're making it seem. Like someone put the pipes there that had to have known of the tunnel itself. Now, granted, the next part of the tunnel was sealed off, so I get that, but
I think it just goes back to like your point of like how did Brand find them? It's like they didn't go that far. Like I think that's kind of the thought is like they didn't really get that far. They're riding bikes.
Yeah,
like it's
that's fair. It just looks far because of the scenery, I guess.
Yeah. Who knows how big the town is? But another quote, because to your point of getting down further into the tunnel, and it reminded me of Casa Bonita. If you guys have ever been there,
I've been there. Love that place.
The caves, the tunnels and stuff. But like when they get up to, I think it was Chester Copperpot.
Yep.
And I don't know which. I think might have been Data. He's like, he's dead for sure. Like, really a skeleton, dude. Yeah, he's dead. What are you talking about? But like Mikey realizes it's Chester Copperpot and finds some more clues, and they keep on the treasure hunt.
Right, and that's where they find the skeleton key. So
yeah,
Copperpot went in there fully to the teeth and got tripped up by one of the oldest tricks in the book, and that's the hidden shoelace across the ground. Dude got crushed by a boulder. Like, barely made it in there, dude. I mean, imagine him. You've done so much history review. You found all this information. You found the tunnel. And then you just get clipped by the booby trap right at the beginning. Like, tough.
And we saw the boulders. We saw the booby trap because the boulders started to fall and they saw
the booty trap?
The booty trap. But another piece of that is also the candles that they found.
Not all candles.
I don't think any of them were candles.
No, I think one of them was a dynamite stick because they do light them later in the film. I thought the same thing, that they were all dynamite, but they do end up lighting them and having them as candles.
Well, I was curious because they did say at the end, like, we got one more candle.
And it was the dynamite stick. And they show you that when he picks them all up, one stick is clearly dynamite.
So I think in my brain, I thought they were all dynamite.
Yeah, no. So do I, until it's like you watch it enough times, because I've seen this movie 100 times.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh, okay, yeah, those are actual candles. The one dynamite stick is the one that ended up being last.
And then the boulders fall. They let the booby trap goes off. Mikey's got him. They figure it out. He smartly enough goes and picks up the lantern, so they've got some light because Data's tractor beams or whatever the hell he called the blinding lights die in half a second.
Need better batteries.
Yeah, and they fall, and then it's kind of like the midway point of the movie where Brand starts to move a rock, and Steph, I finally remembered her name, I just looked it up, is like, God put that rock there for a reason. You don't move that rock. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, we're trapped underground.
And you got a killer family behind you.
Where do you want to go?
But the architecture they have under here, like, obviously I complain about it not making sense, like, physically, right? But the architecture they had, like, giant skulls, you know, it's the big old tunnel, but, like, it's not just a tunnel, right? Like, they incorporate the pirate theme within all of this.
Yeah.
A little Indiana Jones-esque, right? And it just kind of brings you into the movie. I don't know. I just want to make that point.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of like when they go in, the bats come out of that hole that Brain moves the rock in, and they keep moving. And this goes back to they're under a well. Is like you kind of get introduced to where they think they found treasure because look at this waterfall. There's coins. They think they're close, and then Troy's up top flipping a coin down. They throw it back, looking for Andy. Andy's down there. Coat comes up. Like it's a cool scene because it's another like little hint at what they're looking for. And I've seen this movie 1,000 times. I'm a sucker for rewatching a movie. I'm looking at these coins on the ground, and all I'm thinking is like, damn, they're close. There's treasure. No, it isn't.
Well, they all thought it was treasure, and then it's pennies, quarters, nickels, dimes.
Dreams.
And I thought Mouth, cool line. Like, you guys, I think Steph, she's just the ultimate buzzkill the whole time.
Yeah.
These are somebody else's wishes. And then Mouth is like, well, this is my wish that I never got. And
it's the first time he's serious, too.
Yeah, he's
this hit him hard.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this scene has the chase scene happened yet at this point. I think so with the Fratellis.
I think it's after.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just after.
They haven't gotten there yet because Troy makes the wish to throw the coin back up. They ask to bring the bucket down, and then Andy's, freaking out, wants to go up first. And what I also thought was Brandon's like, I'm in charge here. Andy goes first. I'm second. It's like, okay, buddy, if you're in charge,
you go last.
Why the hell are you going second? He's just trying to get some. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The whole
time. Troy is up there, so
yeah, he's trying to fight, trying to box. But
that's also a great scene where he flicks the coin back up and he catches it. Like that would freak me the fuck out.
Oh yeah, like hey, buddy, that wish ain't coming true.
But my critique about the level differences is like, dude, that well is opening right there. Like this is not a hidden secret place.
Like, no, but they kept going deeper. They kept getting
deeper. And I know that, but it's just like throughout this first series, you're just like,
you thought they were there.
How does no one not know about this place?
Or just ride the rope down.
And it's a well with no water.
Fast track it.
A well with it is an old well, I get that, but no water down there.
How does no one not know about this place? Is what you just said.
Yeah.
No one can't know about anything because it's no one.
How can no one not know about this place? Like, because you have to have the map to find it.
How would nobody know about this place? Would be what you should say.
All right, I didn't know I went to school for English. Yeah, I did at one point, but
English
not for college.
English, motherfucker.
I got an A in those classes, so you guys can suck it.
He might have been sucking something to get that A. But they do get the coins down there, and they start moving, and they call Andy not a Goonie. Like she's not a Goonie.
Definitely isn't.
But now she's a Goonie. Like that was cool. She implemented herself into the Goonie culture.
Oh, dude, when she told Troy to get lost, like,
oh yeah,
you're in now. Like,
she's a Goonie.
We ride.
Andy was bought in on Goonie culture at that moment.
Oh yeah,
we're finding this goddamn treasure. But that scene was cool. It was weird that the well was short. I will agree with that. But they say in another quote I wrote down was like Goonies never say die.
I wrote that down as well.
Yeah, Goonies never say die because they thought they were going to die down there and they weren't going to. And then Mikey just gets a rally the fucking troop speech going.
His monologues were awesome. Like
he just
locked in.
And it was so out of character until like every serious moment they got into was Mikey was taking the reins. Brand was
Until he had to, right? Like he was
Right.
fine just backpacking, and then when push came to shove, he's like, guys, it's our time.
I know.
The parents' time, that's their time. Right now is our time. Like, imagine like your quarterback's telling you that in the fucking huddle. I'm pumped.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Imagine being down 34-0 in the Super Bowl. Couldn't be the Eagles, but imagine that was them. It didn't work. But Mikey just was the guy early in the movie that you thought was always going to bail, and then he was the catalyst of this entire adventure. They would have never gotten to the end if it wasn't for Mikey. And this speech,
no, they would have been gone. Well, first off, they would have never been there in the first place. Literally, without Mikey in this movie, obviously none of this happens. But he's always there to bring him right back from the brink.
And the sliding glass moment of like he knew in the moment in the attic, if I have Chunk hold this, he will drop it.
Yeah.
And that's what kick-started this whole thing. And then they cut back to Chunk and Sloth because Chunk got tied up with Sloth. And Chunk is terrified of Sloth. And then he realizes Sloth is just kind of...
He's a hungry boy.
He's hungry. He's trapped. And he got a baby Ruth to him. And he throws it over. It just banks on his face. Just wow. Knocks him straight back. But it just... The Sloth and Chunk connection was awesome. And they were the caboose.
Yeah.
The baby Ruth hitting the ground and Sloth getting the motivation to just rip the damn chains off the wall.
Zoo chains, by the way. Zoo chains. It's not your average chain link, chain out there.
He was a superhuman. Literally superhuman.
Some would say, Superman, if you will.
Yeah, I think that's something that comes up pretty big later on. Sloth to Chunk, incredible connection, and then Data comes back to the Gadget Man because I don't remember exactly what was going on, but Data falls to the ground, and then he fires up his pinchers of power.
Now,
pinchers of power.
What caused it? It caused the ball to roll.
They had the skeleton key. They turned it one way.
That's what it was, and it.
Like Mikey's arm gets caught, and then they don't know what to do. They don't know where to move the ball. Finally, Rube Goldberg, booby trap, hits something, and then Data falls, and he's got the pinchers of power. Just shoots the teeth out, grabs onto something. He's in a new room. But the Mr. Gadget was never going to be in trouble because he had something for everything.
Right. But this is now this is kind of the point I wanted to talk about earlier. Is the scene of the Fratellis getting into the tunnel? No,
they are, but right before that,
I'm still thinking of the whole scene where they're
that's
actually
coming up.
Okay,
no, that's coming up. So they're already on the chase, but
yeah.
they get down there, and that's when they're like, hey, I gotta go pee. I gotta pee.
Yeah.
Boys' room, girls' room, let's go. Brand, where are you going? I'm going to the men's room. We're all going there. Andy yells for Brand, and she's like, Steph's like, this isn't the right time. She's like, no, watch this. And he's like, go find out what she's ragging about.
Oh my God. I wrote the same thing down, dude.
Oh yeah.
Classic. That is just male response.
And I had Mikey with like 3 exclamation points, like, Mikey!
Hey, Mikey!
Mikey gets in there, gets the kiss. Brand finds out later, I believe, at some point.
He does.
I don't know if he realizes it or not, but Mikey gets them.
At that point, he does, because Andy asked him if he has braces.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And Steph is just watching it. She's like,
never says it. Never tells her.
No.
She just says, next time you kiss, do it with your eyes open. It's a better experience. Andy thinks she just hit it off with Brand, and Brand's like, see what she's ragging about back there.
Yeah. And it's his little brother.
Oh, yeah. Now we get to your scene, because the photos are on the
thank
tape,
you.
And that's where we get to the log.
Right. But that chase scene is so iconic, and it's just a dun 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 dun, and the music and everything, but it's Ma leading the charge, and then it's all 3 of them just, ants go marching one by one, hurrah. Just right through this fucking tunnel towards these kids.
Well, and I thought, and I wrote this down earlier. I didn't say it yet, but the sound effects were so golden for like old school movies. The sound effects are like the Scooby Doo esque era of creakiness, of high adrenaline, anticipation, like all those things involved. Like the sound effects included with the music were on par. And they get to that scene, and the one thing that I had written out, one, Brand, unbelievable balance, by the way. They're walking across this log. He gets hit by
all of them. All of them. Dude, you put Critter, Lindsay, me, Lexi, you, Chelsea, no chance are all 6 of us making it across that log. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I thought the log was wet because there's a waterfall, but then they all get across, and Data's like back there, and he's like, slick shoes, and then it's like Heelys pop out, and he's just shooting water behind him, dude.
No, he was shooting oil.
Oh, it was oil.
Yeah, the log was wet.
Okay,
but why Data needed shoes with oil in them, I don't know.
Mr. Gadget.
But yeah, Mr. Handyman, Mr. Call me when you need me, got Johnny on the spot with the oil shoes. Total clutch.
Side note, this is the first time in the movie, and I know we're towards like the back end here, that I realized that Mikey was Rudy. I didn't know Mikey was Rudy.
I didn't realize it. Well, I did some research before I started watching. I was like, oh my gosh, it is him.
There was one point where he was doing something or saying something. I'm like, is that Rudy? And then I looked it up afterwards, and I'm like, that's fucking Rudy.
I wanted to do a Where Are They Now? And didn't get around to it, but I
looked up a little bit, but Rudy was the only one. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Rudy was the only one that I could remember. I think
he's actually in Stranger Things, and I mentioned that before. He's in that movie. Yeah, Sean Astin is in Stranger Things. I think he's like the boyfriend to the mom in that show.
Yeah,
that sounds familiar. And then
Lord of the Rings.
Mouth, the actor, he just visited the house like within the last 2 weeks. Made a bunch of social posts about it, like coming back.
Yeah, but I think it's 40th anniversary.
I think that's what it was. And the owners let him into the house and everything. He just showed up. I feel like he got to. Like, come on, come on in. Like,
yeah,
you ruined our lives, but I do love that movie.
The next scene pays homage to Andy becoming a Goonie because then she steps up to the plate to play the piano.
She's the only one that could.
Yeah, and she kind of fucks it up, but like gets him there, and then like they get to the pirate ship, and that's like, it's like so cool. Like that is like they got there.
I love the contraptions in this movie though. Like each one's unique and gets more complicated.
Yeah,
where it's the boulders, and then it's it's the water pipes had the hidden tunnel and everything, but then you get the other contraptions. So the contraptions just got more elaborate as they went on. And the piano scene is just so sick with like, it's all bones and everything, which, shout out to One-Eyed Willie and his crew of, merry men. Because to build all that shit in a cave, like Tony Stark, is pretty impressive. Like you got to rig up the floor. You got to kill one of your crew members to get his bones to build the skeleton. These guys are just all on board doing all that shit.
Then they do get on board and they get to the ship,
and
then they bring it back of like, I think Mikey says it this time. these guys must be dead. It's like every time they said that, it was just a skeleton. It's like, no shit, they're dead.
Talk about a water slide though, man. Like,
yeah,
there's no going back at this point. Like, there's no going back before, but like really now it's like you have no idea where this is going to drop you out of.
No, and I wonder, there has to have been some point like a water park that's tried to mimic the Goonies experience.
Damn.
If there hasn't been,
that's a great idea.
Like a Universal Studios or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't think Universal's done it, but I think there's got to be a water park at some point that has tried to mimic the Goonies, like the Goonies slide or the Goonies experience or something.
There isn't a dedicated Goonies theme park.
That's not surprising.
Well, I'm just mean like, no one's ever done it.
I just meant like one specific like water slide.
No, like I know what you mean, but
when they find One-Eyed Willie. And then when they take in treasure, they're a little bit more humble to not take One-Eyed Willie's treasure because it's going to, you know what I mean?
Because a true believer, follower of One-Eyed Willie knows. You know the booby traps. You know, Mikey's in tune with this guy.
Yeah.
And he knows that's One-Eyed Willie's, guys. You touch everything else but that.
Well, and they've fallen for every other goddamn booby trap that's happened so far in the entire time.
Good point. So. But actually, before we kind of wrap this up, another monologue by Mikey, man. Really, heart to heart with a skeleton. Just making you hit the feels about, it's like, we're pretty similar, dude.
Yeah.
And then everyone's just watching him.
He starts crying. He's getting teary-eyed, and they're just like, this pussy.
Well, dude, the fact that's like he says in the movie, man, it's like Chester Copperpot was a professional. And we're already past that.
Yeah.
4 kids, 3 teens. Like, we're the most unprofessional group of ragtag gang you could find here. And we're killing it.
Yeah. They did kill it until the Italians showed up. And the Italians show up. And another point that we haven't talked about is the fact that the Italians had a gun the whole time. And they were more inaccurate than the fucking one-shot rifles and Mohawk in the 1800s. Like, hit a bullet on these kids, man. I know they're elusive, they're young, but, like, God, they were bad. So they have a gun in there. They give up all the treasure.
Especially after killing the one agent straight through the dome, bullseye.
Yeah.
You can't hit these kids? Like,
well, my problem with that scene is that they make Andy walk the plank first. And Brand takes off to save the girl. And he runs right by Ma to dive in. And I just had written down, like, dude, knock her in the water.
Knock her the fuck out.
Why is he running by her to dive in? Like, dude, like, she is standing right there. Like, if you're going in, take her with you. You could Goldberg spear her ass.
Oh,
right into the lake or the pond.
2 birds, 1 stone.
It just didn't make any sense.
You got to be efficient in high-stress situations.
And he was old enough to do that. Like, he was 16, 17, because they talked about he didn't have his license yet, but, like, his age group was driving, so, like, he's old enough to, like, realize
that dude is a starter on whatever sports team he's playing. It's like Josh Brolin. No excuse. Yeah. Break her back. She's pushing 70. I mean, everyone's letting Ma manhandle him. How about you just check hook her right in the fucking face in this fiasco?
Oh, it's funny you mentioned the check hook because Chunk and Sloth show up, and then Steph, who I've hated the whole movie, does slug her ass.
Oh,
with the right hook. Ma ate it, but like she got her with the right hook.
You got to get your licks in while you can,
Yeah, and then Sloth's entrance allowed them all to kind of get out.
Oh. Most iconic line. I still say today when I join Xbox parties, "Hey, you guys!"
Yeah, and that's after he rips them together and hangs them up
all
right
the time,
swinging.
Nah, he says it right before they come in. And then he says it again, but the first time you hear it is right before they get on the boat.
Yeah.
But
when they're hanging up, he says it again when they're hung up in the air.
And he comes
legendary.
in, he rips his shirt, and it's Superman.
Oh yeah,
I think Chunk says that a crap ton, and that's probably like what I caught. Not like going back to this movie, I was like, "Wait, Chunk says that like, hey, you guys, a crap ton," and that's probably kind of like why he said Chunk. It. Yeah.
Yep. I don't think I've ever made that connection.
Subtitles, baby.
This is why we do this podcast. This is why we do this podcast. I'll tell you that.
Well, a lot of what Chunk was saying, Sloth was saying beforehand is like he's just learning from Chunk, so that makes sense. I didn't think about that either, but he just says it like just, "Hey, you guys."
But Sloth frees everybody, and then we get the 2v1. I love this scene specifically because the brothers of Francis and Jake are trying to wrap up, Sloth, and then Sloth grabs the rope and they're like, "Oh, we're in trouble."
Well, my favorite part about this scene is when he gets them hung up there. They're tied together. They're hanging from the rafters on this pirate ship. And he's walking towards Ma. She's like, Sloth, come here, come here, come here. She starts singing the lullaby. And she's like, I only dropped you once, maybe twice. And it's like, this guy's head is so beyond messed up.
Dropped him from a 5-story building, maybe.
I mean, he is superhuman. You can tell the guy's strength is through the roof. But Jesus, man, like once or twice, my ass. Like you were curb stomping this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's
Talk about it. She's probably drinking while she's pregnant, too.
Yeah, something was wrong with Sloth, but he was a legend. I mean, Sloth, all right. I mean, the guy's a legend.
And the brother and, Jake is going after. It's like, hey, we spent the money to get your teeth fixed on his toupee.
Yeah, he was folding. Yeah, Jake was like, hey, man, I know Sloth's got the bag, man. He's killing me. Like,
well, I feel like he was the one who dealt with him the most, right?
Yeah.
Like, go cook for him. Go do this. And so I feel like he's like, bro, we're in trouble. And just wraps them up, beats their ass, and then throws them overboard, right?
Well, he throws Ma overboard.
Right.
The brothers are hanging. He throws Ma overboard, and that's when the stick of dynamite comes in handy because they only think they have one candle left to get out of there. And they toss
well, kind of screws them. It worked out in the end, but they could have been totally screwed without Sloth there. There's no chance you're raising that boulder.
No, but like getting underwater was the best thing they could have done. I mean, now granted, the whole place could have collapsed, but the one stick of dynamite, like it blocked their exit. But the instincts to get underwater was incredibly smart.
Now, where else are you gonna go though?
Yeah, right. That's the only place they had. And then Sloth comes over to your point and just behemothly picks up this boulder with his ass. Yeah, like he's holding it up. They get out. Chunk's crying, wanting to get out of there. I love you too, man. Go on, little chunker.
Yeah, just heavy scene because it's like these guys, Chunk's only known this dude half hour. It hasn't been a long time. And
we know Sloth's life has been just chained up to a wall.
Prison, slavery. Yeah, like they're keeping him alive at this point, basically. But just that Chunk and Sloth had like that genuine connection. Yeah. Honestly, that's like the realest connection out of the whole movie.
I don't think genuine is a word. I
can't. I don't. I keep saying that. You see how I paused when I said it because I recognize I said it.
You want
wrong.
to say like a genuine connection, not a genuine. Genuinely is a word, not genuine. Type.
Genuine. In Latin refers to knees or something related to the knees.
So now what you're talking about. Genuinely. Book it. Genuinely is what you're looking for, not genuinely.
Was a genuine
genuinely.
I've thought that was like a word like for so long.
Genuine. You can say genuine. There's another N in there that you're forgetting.
Back to the English classes, guys.
Yeah. I didn't fucking learn English.
Bro, I had a what was it? I forget. I always forget what it's called, but I had a legit health disorder as a child where the disconnect from my brain to my tongue is obviously still prevalent today. So
so we're pulling that card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, make us feel bad. Great.
Backpedal.
It's a mental disorder. So
too late. We already have a folder for you, bud. We'll have a montage soon.
Back.
Someone's got to make this pod interesting, so it might as well be me.
They did have a genuine connection, and they leave, and then they're trapped in there. All hell breaks loose, and the best part about this whole thing is at the end, they get out, families are there, the cops show up, they say, hey, it's the Goobers. It's not the Goobers, it's the Goonies. And Chunk's family is like, we got you pizza. They're all pumped up. And that goes back to early in the movie, and Chunk's just smelling like pizza, pepperoni. It's like the guy's got.
He smelled ice cream too, at the freezer.
He got his ice cream.
And Jake puts that ice cream down to they drop Chunk, and then Chunk's just eating it. I told you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't lying.
As many shovels as he could get in before they pulled it away from him. But his parents bringing pizza, I thought was so funny. It's like all these families are getting together, scared to death. Their children are gone. And Chunk, we brought you pizza. Domino's box. He goes
Domino's literally dropping it off at the location.
Yeah, and then he goes to protect Sloth with the Domino's box. He's good. These are the bad guys. These are the bad guys. Like sacrificing the pizza, but he keeps that box closed because he knows if it opens up, he's not eating tonight. But protects him with it. And kind of a cool ending. The Fratellis get got. They fucking defend Sloth. And then Dickhead, who you mentioned, Troy's father, coming with the paper.
Elgin. Ugh.
Sign the papers.
That's a terrible name.
Sign the papers. Mike Wazowski, you forgot your paperwork. Don't
Mike Wazowski. Yeah, so Elgin comes in, rolling in fat. Hey, pal, time's up. And that's when, and we kind of skipped over it, but all the Goonies had stocked up on gold. Mouth filled his mouth with a bunch of jewels and pearls and everything. And the Fratellis made him dump all that shit. Except Mikey's marble bag.
I'm glad you brought this up because I had written down on my note sheet here that's just for anybody listening right now, I talk about my notes all the time. It's a freaking hodgepodge jumbled mess. It's hard to follow. I try to look at it. If you're watching the video, you see me look at it. I don't know where we're at, but I try to find it. I wrote down earlier on, Mouth is a legend. And I was like, I don't know why I put that down. So I just skipped over it. And then now you're saying this. I'm like, he's just, And they're pulling out the pearls and he spits out like more diamonds and gems and shit. And then he coughs up another coin. Like the guy, they're filling their pockets and shit. And Mouth is like, we're getting out of here with everything I got. We're getting out of here with. But yes, Mikey's marble bag.
Yeah, Mikey's magic marble bag.
And it's Rosalita. It's Rosalita
for the win.
Bag. Yes,
for the win. And then Mouth. I remember watching this. Obviously I watched as a kid, but as you grow up, you rewatch it. I kind of always thought that Mouth didn't actually know Spanish enough to communicate it, but was just making shit up. It's like every time there's like, yeah, can you speak? I can speak French. And then when they speak French, it's like, I'm doing drugs. And they don't know that's what they're saying. I thought that's what Mouth was. But it's like after rewatching it so many times, I was finally like, oh, okay, so he is literally just messing with Rosalita at the house. And he actually knows Spanish to be able to be like, hey, like, no pen, don't sign that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, don't write. No write. No pen, no
By
write.
the skin of their teeth, too, because Mikey's dad had already signed his first name on those documents.
And it's a awesome ending with the pirate ship because I was waiting for it and I'd seen it 1,000 times. And because when the booby trap goes off and the exit for the ship goes down, the pirate ship, the Fratellis didn't get out on it. And then the ship is just sailing off into the coast and the goon squad saves their block from a golf course or whatever they thought was going to get put there.
Yeah, golf course.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that, though? What a spot for a golf course.
They need more. That's one hole.
Windy.
Oh,
that was
it's like
one
Pebble
hole.
Beach. Like, that would be a legit golf course. No lie.
We only seen like one hole, though, because those houses in that block is like, it's one hole.
I mean, it's all kind of on the water, I think. I mean, I don't know where Story is at, but it looked like everything was kind of waterside.
Mini putt out there, maybe.
Final scene. Last thought for me on the movie itself, not overall thoughts, but Sloth's hair at the end.
I noticed that too.
What is this, alfalfa? Like, I mean, it's just waving, and there's just like one strand of hair waving. They're just looking at the pirate ship sail off into the sunset. Like, very funny, very fitting for Sloth's character, but Sloth's hair it had me cracking.
We got the probably the most memeable. The scene that is like most applied to memes is when Chunk is like, "You're gonna come live with me now, cause I love you."
I wrote that down too. And also another quote we missed is when Mikey's talking to Andy about the kiss, and she's like, "The parts of you that don't work so good will catch up." And I'm like, that seemed a little perverted. Like he's young,
kids got good lips.
The parts that don't work.
Yeah, but they're all within 2 to 3 years of each other. I mean, that's like
what parts aren't working so good for him. You know,
he's got asthma. That's about it. I
think she was talking about something else.
No, they just kissed. I mean,
I know, but maybe they don't work so good right now, and it's going to.
But it wasn't the kiss she was complaining about. I don't know. Maybe she's shy.
That's what she said. She said that you kiss good, and the parts, if you're ever worried, the parts that don't work so good right now, they'll catch up to you, young buck.
If we're going on quotes, I got a good one. Is when they're playing the piano, the skeleton piano, and she's like, "I don't know if it's A flat or B flat," and I could be botching the hell out of this. And then Mikey goes, "Well, if you get it wrong, we'll all be flat." Just dad joke so hard.
Oh yeah. There were a lot of good quotes. I think I wrote
There's
down
so many, man. This movie is awesome.
You're Gonna Live With Me Now, though, was one I had written down.
Yeah, because dude, it's always like, it's like when I can't, it's like when my girlfriend tells me I'm, coming home from the bar, like, "You're coming home with me now because I love you." It's like you're blacked out.
You're coming home with me now. I would never say that to a girl at a bar at the end of the night. I feel like that's a little weird, a little creepy.
But if they're a Goonie fan,
that's a shot in the dark. I'm not
still probably not.
Who is
calling the popo on your ass?
Who isn't a Goonie fan? Is my question.
You're coming home with me now.
They probably would be too drunk to even know that that's what you're referencing. First of all,
what the fuck are you talking about? The Goonies? Have
what
you
did
seen
you just
it?
say? Yeah,
that's when they walk away from you at the bar. Overall thoughts. We'd all seen it. This movie is awesome. It is so far ahead of its time. It's unbelievable.
And it still holds up today.
It still does. And I'd watch it again tonight. I don't care. Chelsea still hasn't watched it. It's an unbelievable movie. The Goonies is, if you're going to bitch about, I haven't seen the movie, I haven't listened to the pod, I haven't watched these movies. If you haven't seen this fucking movie, you got to watch it because this movie is unbelievable. Great point. When they cross the log, Data hits him with the up yours.
Yeah,
and I forgot about
that. Lindsay, I think this is the first time she's watched it, and that little cracked her the hell up.
I haven't seen that movie.
She was laughing her ass off. Yeah, I'd forgot about it.
Yeah. But like, this is just a movie that it will never get old. No matter how old you are, I think if you're one of those parents that don't want to hear your kids, listen to the word shit, then maybe don't watch it, right? That's not us. My kid could watch this when he's 5 years old. I don't care. This is a funny movie. It's an entertaining movie. There's a good plot. It's a good storyline. It's even 2 hours long, and it feels like you're watching an hour-long film.
It felt so quick once you hit the halfway point. I was like, oh, shit. Like, it's like first hour is all your pre-introduction stuff. Second hour is all the action. Perfect.
Unbelievable.
And with so many characters, like everyone got character development. Everyone's story got resolved. What's not to like?
You can nitpick it. We didn't nitpick it too hard. And I think we nitpicked it enough, but like it's 1985. It's a kid main actor movie. Like, yeah, we could have just picked it apart, but it's like that's not why we watch movies. We talk about it because it's fun to digest and like fun to like talk about the unrealistic things about movies, but like you can't watch this movie and tell me it didn't just flow so well that you weren't just bought in to finding the One-Eyed Willie's treasure. You can't tell me that. And if you haven't seen it by this point, and I told you at the beginning of the podcast to pause right there and watch it before you listen, and if you haven't done that yet, you're an idiot. And that's what I'll tell you here, because this movie's awesome. It's free.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah. Good. So their production budget was $19 million. Let me share the screen real quick. Sorry, I'm trying to
well spent.
Wear two hats.
$19 million.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
19 million.
1985, that's a lot of money.
Josh Brolin probably.
What's a funny point?
Drum roll, please, for how much they actually did on just box office.
Holy shit.
God knows what they're getting
million?
at HBO Max because that's what we watched it at.
Dude, and that's
probably,
back in when this was released. Like,
Yeah.
what's that in today's dollars? Yeah, I can do that.
I mean, I'm not doing.
I have a fun
inflation
side
or
plot.
Joeflation,
What was it,
pal.
85?
68 box office alone. And then
No.
85.
What year was the movie?
Oh,
1985.
1985. Yeah. Yep.
This is playing into my fun side point of like every time there's an older year and we're talking about money, the initial thought of everybody's always like, and that was 1985. Like I don't know what money was in 1985. It's like oh that was 2002.
192 million in today's money.
But then if you inflate how much it costed, it's probably
Which
it's
was-
probably still the same thing.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
20 million. So
19.
it's all the same like
19 mil.
percentage bump you're getting. So
And that was in 1985. That's a lot of money back then.
they also would have spent so much more money now too to make it. But
56 million.
I do got a fun fact for you boys, and maybe you guys saw this, maybe you didn't.
I'm interested.
So, football guy. Do you know who the 1973 first round pick, number 1 overall? Do you know who in this movie was that guy?
Number one, you said
Number one, 1-1 in the
Sloth.
73 draft.
You just made it. You like.
I jacked it up, yeah. But 1-1, the first round pick, number 1 overall, entirely. Just
Sloth.
the number 1 pick, yeah.
I feel like that's the only character there is, though. You know, like
I'll tell you this: the way you phrased that question when you did number 1, I was like Warren Moon. Like I just thought of.
No, he was
Warren
literally
number 1.
the first overall pick.
No, I know. I just was thinking
Yeah.
of somebody who was like war number 1 when you did that. I was
Yeah,
like, I don't know, Warren Moon.
I jacked that up. But anyways, yeah.
John
Matuszak.
What was his NFL career like?
Nicknamed Twos. He was drafted by the Oilers. Basically immediately traded to the Chiefs.
He was only one of the
contract
first 6
dispute.
selections from the 1973 draft to never earn first team All-Pro honors.
Passed away 4 years after this movie was made, basically.
Damn.
So this movie was post
6'8"
NFL career?
defensive end.
Oak Creek
Yeah.
High School.
Yep.
That sounds familiar.
In Wisconsin. Probably,
Can we just let's
yes.
just?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's probably close to Milwaukee if he was born there.
Can we just? This is going to be such a bad take by me because I'm a KD guy, but I think KD went to Oak Hill. Can you look up where
Yes.
Kevin Durant went to high school?
It's
You
okay,
don't
I'm
know
pretty
that,
sure.
Brendan?
I think I'm
God.
right. I think I'm right, you dickhead. Yeah, Oak Hill. I was right.
Yeah, but you weren't confident in it.
Well, I was thinking like Oak Creek sounds familiar. I'm like, wait a second. I think KD went to Oak Hill.
Yeah.
Shout out KD. Love that guy. Best basketball player of all time.
Watch our pod.
University
K-
first
KD.
number 1 overall pick the University of Tampa.
Who took it?
Yeah. That would
And he
never
also
happen
went to
before.
Mizzou, I'm pretty sure.
The Oilers, bro. We already talked about this. He got immediately traded.
2-time
Well, I
Super
wasn't
Bowl
listening. I was
champion.
reading shit. Damn.
That's cool though. I imagine this movie was post NFL career.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he had some kind of issues, whether it was definitely off the field. I don't know what it was, so I'm not going to get into it, but it was definitely post NFL because his last season was in 1982.
Kind of a crazy, iconic character that he played, and to be remembered like that is
Number 1 overall pick.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P. But he's remembered as Sloth. from
That's
the Goonies.
back-to-back weeks of fun facts of
At least
guys
it's an
that
iconic character.
passed away
professional
already.
professional athletes. Yeah.
Mhm.
What a fucking kickoff to the summertime classics. You can't
pumped.
ask for much more than the Goonies.
I'm pumped for the wheel. It's Travis missing out because
I'll say this about the wheel: Trav's dollar still stands. That dollar goes in the pot.
I gave him the option. I sent him a message. I was like, "What's your choice?" He knows
that money's
knows
in the
options.
pot. He's
Yep.
locked in on that. He's not getting out of that shit.
So for those of you at home, if you didn't listen last week and you're listening now, Geese had predicted the Goonies on the wheel last week with all 30 movies on it. We do $1 per spin for all 4 of us. We all predict a movie. We haven't doubled up on a movie, which would be interesting to do. Kind of defeats the purpose, but it would be funny to try to just split the pot with somebody. But Geese did win, so we've only done 2 wheel spins, and Geese already hit it. So it's kind of like we want to see this pot build and build and build. If you want to donate to the pod, that'd be great, and comment your guesses. We're not gonna pay you, but we'd gladly take your money. It would be an awesome donation for you guys here at the Extra Butter Pod. Hopefully someday we're able to get you all included. We could pay you out on that. The wheel will be 100 movies, but right now it's 30. Right now, actually, it's 29. I'm an idiot. But 30 every time we rerun it. The Goonies, summertime classics, best summers movies of all time. If you're bitching about the movies, you haven't seen them, you don't want to listen. If you haven't seen the Goonies, right there, watch the video and you'll see what I'm saying to you.
Go watch Goonies, period.
Critter.
If you haven't seen it. But here you go, boys.
Can we see the wheel so we can predict?
I won't mess this one up. I promise.
The hesitation.
Yeah, no, I literally did it with Brennan. I was like, this thing just spun on its own again.
What are we watching next week? The predictions. I will be the host here.
Mouse is clear the hell off the screen now.
That's okay.
I want to be the last guest, so if I can double up, I can be that asshole. So, Geese, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
I would love to watch that movie.
Seeing this wheel, and fun fact for those listening now that have made it to the end is that Critter and I did. It's a little surprise for the boys, surprise for you at home, that we put this wheel together after every series of 4. And I know we just saw this last week, but just seeing it now again, the heavy hitters on this are just you want them all to land. But we all make a prediction. Geese is at Caddyshack, legendary movie. Goonies, legendary movie. Critter, what do you got for this week?
I think I'm going to go Stand By Me. Little repeat of Mouth.
Stand By Me. I'm going.
Right, Mouth's in that, right? I'm not.
I have no idea.
Mandela. But I'm pretty sure Mouth is in that, or whatever character, whatever actor that is. But I'm going to go Stand By Me because I haven't watched it in a while and I want to watch it again.
I am going to go with a movie that is one of my all-time favorites that was put on me by my father when I was a young child, and I think somebody guessed it last week. I love this actor that is the main in the movie. He's got another movie called Uncle Buck. He's got more movies than that. He died young, like Chris Farley, R.I.P. to both those legends. Let me get the great outdoors. John Candy.
Love John Candy.
All right,
Spin
boys.
that wheel.
Let's do it.
Big money, big money, big money, no whammy. Stop.
Spin it one time.
I already lost my
5.
movie. Oh, Great Outdoors is so far gone. It's not even funny.
Oh.
Uh-oh. No, we'll make it.
It's going to be Sandlot.
It's going to be a sports movie. Gotta be. Oh yeah.
It's the Sandlot.
Not to this was overdue. It hit this during my catastrophe of wheel spins. So
I haven't watched
probably
this
good
movie in
it's
so long. Dude.
I actually watched it a couple weekends ago. I think it was on MLB Network when I was just kind of like enjoying a coffee on a Saturday or Sunday. I was just chilling, and it was on. I didn't watch it all the way, but yeah, good movie.
What a freaking banger to follow up the Goonies, and you go to Sandlot. It's got to be the same era. Like when did the Sandlot come out? It's got to be similar because it feels. I could be completely making this up, but it feels like the same time frame as the Goonies.
1993.
So a little bit later,
essentially. Yep.
A little bit later,
but still, a group of kids. You know,
there's a theme playing here, boys. Besides the summertime, well, summertime. You think summertime, bro? You're a kid. You're in school. So I'm glad we're getting these movies with kids.
Summertime in school.
Well,
you don't get summer anymore as an adult in terms of like summer vacation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, unless you're a teacher.
True, but like as a kid,
you
like
still
summertime,
kind of don't really. You get one a little bit.
No, you're still working.
You just look forward to summer more as a kid than you do as an adult because you don't get.
Oh
summer.
Yeah, I think I just heard that wrong. I was like,
oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, I love that.
God. I can't wait for this movie.
Is that Trav?
That's a good That's a good little poster with the dog paw there.
Maybe we'll put that behind me next week if we can figure out a way to make it long ways. But there's no way to make a bat go this sideways unless.
All right, so I think it's just Disney Plus.
Disney Plus for free. Watch it at
big
home.
time.
Disney Plus, if you're out there and you're illegally streaming, shame on you. But if you can do it, do it. Watch it on Disney Plus. Sign up for ESPN Plus. Sign up for Disney Plus. You get them all in one. You can probably get a cell phone package with all three of them. Hulu, Disney, ESPN, get them all.
We're going full circle, man. Back to cable.
Yeah.
It's just now you select what you want to watch when you want to watch it, which is a superior upgrade, if I might add.
Cable is, I think you're right. I think we're going to get back to cable. Maybe not like to cable, but like to a certain type of one app.
Yeah, they're already doing it.
More.
ESPN, Hulu, Disney, HBO, like they're packaging all of them together now. So it's just you're going to bundle them, but now you get to pick when to watch, and you don't have to watch commercials.
Well, and there's 15 streaming services, and then a 16th that you forgot about.
Oversaturated market for sure.
How can you remember to get all of them? But Disney
I pay
Plus,
for HBO Max. That's it.
I was trying to watch The Town recently.
It's called Max. It's called Max now.
Yeah, I was trying to watch The Town last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and I was battling, I think, Peacock. And I was like, I'm done. I'm going to bed. And then eventually I was like, I'm in the living room now and just watch it on this TV. Nope. It's off of Peacock. Literally the next day. It was off Peacock, and now it's on Netflix. Literally the next day I was like, oh, okay, now this TV has Peacock and it'll work.
They just cycle them too.
Yeah,
like,
there's got to be
Goonies is gone.
There has to be communication between those services too. Of like, hey, 2 days we're out of this, guys. Pick it up. Someone's going to have to pay for your service.
Well, yeah, it's just the licensing fee.
They're all connected.
I buy the license for yeah.
All these people know each other.
That shit's all lined up. They package all these titles and everything. And all right, Netflix is done. You guys want it now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Guys, great pod. I mean, this is a shot in the dark. Trav's gone. Can't wait to have him back. Critter did an incredible job filling in here, getting on the board. Call to the pen. We're going to probably need him again next week. Maybe I'll call your left arm next week and see if we got a different spin on the Sandlot. But baseball reference, even though I already said it earlier in the podcast. But the Goonies, episode 1 of the new series of 4 of Summertime Classics, Summertime Favorites, every which way of the internet sources that we pulled from. Some call it El Internet, by the way, Spanish for the internet. Got a lot of different sources there. Summertime movies. The wheel has spun twice. The wheel has delivered 2 all-time classics. We will be watching The Sandlot next week. Tune in next time for The Sandlot. It's a baseball movie, but it's really a summertime classic if you think about it. Guys, when you get out there, I told you earlier in the podcast, you got to see Final Destination. If it's something that you're into, if you're willing to go watch some gory scenes, if you're not, go see Lilo and Stitch. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. There's plenty of movies out there for you. Get back into the theaters. Get your butts in seats. Go by yourself. Go with your girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, partner. Don't care. Get out there. Get in the theaters. Or if you watch a 1985 classic, if they're not replaying it in the movie theaters, guys, watch it on Max. We just watched this one on Max next week, Sandlot. Disney Plus. There's plenty of streaming services out there. Find the movie, watch it, butts and seats, turn it on, sit back, relax. You enjoy some me time. You enjoy it. You need it. Everybody needs it. Reset the brain, watch a movie. It's incredible to do. The Goonies was great for that. And when you guys do that, and if you're in the theaters, if you're an AMC A-List Premier membership member like myself, and you're going to go see the Unseen movie next week on Monday, like I am, I'm going to get up to the counter. I'm going to get an extra large soda, pay for the regular price. I'm going to get an extra large popcorn, pay for the regular price. Or if I'm sitting at home, I'm going to get a bucket. I might grab 2 bags of Orville Redenbacher. Shout out Orville. Flowers to Orville, the OG of the popcorn gang. I'm going to pop some popcorn. I'm going to get it from the counter, and I'm going to press that button. I'm going to get a little bit of butter. I'm going to get some butter at home, and then I'm going to remember that I got the salt on there. It's not tasting right. I'm going to go back for a little bit of extra butter. Guys, thanks for listening. Catch you on the next one. Never forget that extra butter.
Extra butter on the corn for me. extra butter. I hope they don't charge a fee, but it won't matter anyway. I got a good movie to play. I'm gonna ask my friends to stay extra butter for me.